Hey guys, it's Katie. I'm out here at the land, just finishing up some tarping. So if you see here, I have a pile of little studs that I had cut, thinking that I'd have to make a platform all around the logs to make sure that it was sort of a tent structure where there was air coming in between. But once we rolled the logs down here and got them positioned, they're kind of like set up in a way where they're crossing over each other, or one's a little higher than the other, so there's plenty of air in between, and I really don't need a lot of a platform. So there was some places like in the corner where I braced there. I also used the trees to just put a screw in the tree to pull it up a little bit on that end. You can see some of my tools here, just my little power screwdriver, my ropes, which if you haven't seen the video about lassoing the logs, I'm not sure how you say that. I always thought lasso, like in the rodeo, but maybe it's lasso because that's how it's spelled. So anyways, I did a video on how we got these logs down here. They're 8 feet long and about 200 to 300 pounds, and it was not easy to get them. This is just one of our piles, and then there's another pile down here, and then there's another one way down there. I don't know if you can see that one, but it's just, that one just has like 2 logs on it. Beautiful logs, so maple logs that are going to be really nice. But anyways, getting them from where they fell and then cutting them into the 8-foot sections and then rolling them down to these areas wasn't easy. So a lot of it I just did with by myself with a lot of determination, and kind of was thinking like I was doing leg presses when I was laying on my back and pushing them to get them where I wanted to go. There was one tree that was a poplar, which was lighter, so that one I could actually pick the log up, not the whole log, but actually like stand it up. So when I was going through that, it kind of reminded me of moving furniture around, and all you ladies know what that's like. So you know, you get determined and you do what you want to do, but eventually we had to come up with a little sort of pulley system. I called it lassoing the logs because it kind of was reeling them in. The way that it worked was there was 2 like lasso knots on each end, and then a pulley that you can have more than one person pull. So the second way we got the logs down was me and my husband with the lasso, and he was on one end and I was on the other. And then we had this pile, which was my heaviest logs, my cherry and my birch, but a really, really big birch. I'm not sure if that might be a piece of it. So you can see how thick that is. I'd say it's like 15 to 18 inches. And most of my trees are more like 8 to 12. So those are super heavy. So I was having trouble finding anybody to help me with those. I was reaching out every way I could. Just kind of give you a view of the land while I'm talking. And finally I put the request in on Haywood County Yard Sales and miscellaneous, where people pick up small jobs and things like that. And I got a nice gentleman to come out, and he was going to bring his partner, and at the last minute his partner canceled. So it ended up being him and his stepdaughter, who was only like 20 years old, and a small little girl who really wasn't much of a, you know, roughing it type of girl. But she had fun with us. I just was like, well, let's just go with it and see what we can do. So all 4 of us actually used the lasso, and we got it done. It only took about an hour. It was only like 7, 8 logs, and I knew that all I needed was a little extra strength besides me and my husband, so it all worked out. So anyways, that's what the rope's about. And the tarps right now are just secured with the screws that I used around the frame, and then in the middle I have some places where I tacked them with just thumbtacks, and that's only because I was just kind of working on it and I had some thumbtacks, and I know they're not going to be permanent, but what they're going to do is they're going to mark the spots where I'm going to put little screws to make sure that when we have a big windstorm, everything doesn't go blowing off. So they should be pretty good now. I just have to finish that last part and I will feel good about them. I'm going to put a boundary of bug spray around them, just like you do around your house. And then I'm going to probably do termite spikes too, just to be safe. And then I'm going to feel peaceful and safe that they're going to be okay to get through the winter. We don't have like a ton of snow here, so I'm not too worried about that. The snow is minimal and it goes away pretty fast. And they are up on platforms, so if a little snow gets down underneath them, it'll melt and eventually dry up and the moisture will go away. So they should really do a good job drying out. This is my one tree that we decided to just not cut into pieces yet because it's already up off the ground, which is a good protectant. And there's only one spot that I was concerned about here where it was starting to get moldy. So I did scrub it down with some bleach and vinegar treatment, but I might have to do it one more time. And they should be fine once they get tarped up, and it hasn't rained in a few days. Everything's drying out nice now, so I'm hoping to have this tarped by Friday, 2 days from now, and hopefully it won't rain until then, and then they'll be good. So the way I'm doing these is very simple too. I just put the 2 screws in the top to hold the tarp on the top, and then I'm just tying them at the bottom. This way there's air coming through on the side, so they will have air, but they won't have rain coming in on them. So once we get them all done, they'll all be, you know, attached to each other, so there won't be any spaces in between for the rain to come through. So that's pretty simple. Almost done with that, and looking forward to the next step. Hoping to get an excavator out here very soon, maybe even this weekend, and start flattening out our house spot, and I'll keep you updated on what we're doing from there. One thing I want to do is build my little studio, my cob studio next, and that I will be doing regardless if we get the excavator right away or not, because the cob studio is something I can do without much help. I do need to move this pile of brush here because this is where I'm going to put it. It's got some nice tree coverage. So just imagine a little hobbit home in there. And I can literally dig the trench. It's going to be 12 by 12. If I need to, I'm going to do a gravel and stone trench for the foundation, and then do the cob above that. And I'm hoping I don't have to dig it out myself. I'm hoping we get the excavator to do it, but if I do, I do, because I'm not going to waste time. I only have a couple more months before it gets cold. And that's my next step, is to get that cob studio done. So I'll be keeping up with you and letting you know how that goes. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye.